Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Angel, the host of Have Faith, Let It Begin. This week has been very interesting. We've dealt with looking back, the countdown of the birth of my child, making new friends, joy, and life. I thought it would only be fitting that on this Friday, we talk about the one thing that should be in our lives at all times, being happy. Enjoy every moment of your life, so just be happy. Life is way too short, so, don't waste it on grudges. Don't hold grudges. Laugh when you can. Apologize when you should. And let go of what you can't change. I guess there's no secret. Today's episode is called Happy.
Don't you see that your faith is coming alive? Don't you see that it's tested every time? He's the one that makes your life divine. He's the one that makes you feel fine. Your faith's being tested.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. This is Angel. We want to welcome each and every one of you to our show, and we want to welcome all the different platforms that have been able to put us on. We thank you to Spreaker for the main platform. We thank iHeartRadio. We thank Tumblr, SoundCloud, Castbox Player, Player FM. We want to thank Spotify and so many others that are so eager to put us on their platform, and of course YouTube, for those of you that don't have apps and are able to go in that way. You probably heard that in the background. That's my audio connecting to my device. That tends to happen when I'm driving in a certain area. Folks, I want to start off by thanking GABBIE Santana for the use of our theme song, Test It. GABBIE is an up-and-coming star. Take a look at her YouTube channel, GABBIE Santana. She is going to be a star. Folks, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this Friday edition, and this edition is really all about happiness. We've talked about joy, we've talked about life, we have to talk about happiness. Each and every day we wake up, some of us wake up thinking, oh boy, I don't want to go into work. But when it's Friday, like today, it's almost as if it's okay to go to work because the weekend is here. Some of us have to work weekends. Some of us may have today off and have to work the weekend. Some of us may have to only work one day this weekend. Remember, it's still Friday. There's just something about Friday. A lot of it has to do with payday too, right? But Fridays are always the coolest. I don't know what it is. It just makes you feel great. It makes you feel ready to go. It's definitely not a Monday, right? It's definitely not a Monday. So each and every day, we are challenged. We speak about this over and over again on this show because it is a daily challenge. And our faith constantly is being challenged. Just the other day, I was listening to my sister, Leanne, post about how she's gone through so many struggles in the last couple of days, and yet her faith has gotten stronger because of it. It's amazing to see people that go through a struggle in a weekday or a weekend or a week or a month, and yet they find their faith, and they use their faith to gain strength, to gain knowledge. I've spoken with all of you, and I've told you about how often I feel that my faith is tested. It's usually tested in my daily workforce. It's tested in my social life, and it's certainly been tested during the course of my wife's pregnancy. But throughout it all, happiness has always been around. Happiness is something that we all, hopefully, are feeling at some point during the day. Maybe some of you are happy because you woke up and you decided to play that huge jackpot lottery. And hopefully, you're waking up and you're a winner. Some of you are waking up and saying, I am not going to be happy until I have that cup of coffee. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I got to get a cup of coffee for myself. Some of you are waking up and you are tired, exhausted, but then the minute you see your baby girl, baby boy, or your child, it brings that joy, that laughter, that happiness into your life. I know for myself, there are times when I wake up and I'm tired, and my wife leaves me a note telling me that she loves me. That makes me happy. Or hearing the sounds of my parents, or hearing fans write to me and telling me how they receive so much joy or so much into each episode. Fans like Carol, fans like Ashley, Brian, fans like Aubrey, fans like Joni and June. All these individuals writing to us, telling us that they are enjoying our episodes. Happiness can escape us. Happiness can be stolen from us because people try to steal that joy. Throughout this week, I've encouraged you to find something that lifts you up, something that keeps you motivated, something that when you hear the word joy, happiness, love, something that you can embrace that always makes you laugh, smile, and hold on to that. The reason why I wanted you to do that is because that is something that I believe works. Some of us wake up and pray, and that makes you happy. That gives you comfort. That gives you joy. Some of us that don't believe, but believe in others, and believe in themselves, or maybe believe in the air that we breathe and the world as we know it, makes you happy. Kind of hard to make yourself happy too when you're turning on the news and there's always something negative. Sometimes I try to regulate that because I just feel as if I don't want to start my day off by seeing somebody upset. I've actually turned that around at times and decided that whatever I heard in the first 5 minutes of the news, I would use and add to my prayers. Some of us out there right now are happy because it is Friday, but get unhappy quick because that paycheck you just received is probably going to your bills. And when it's all said and done, you probably have not much left. Think about those individuals right now that are struggling and not having jobs. Those that are struggling to make ends meet. Be grateful for what we have. Be grateful for the joys, for the laughters, for the happiness that we pursue. This episode is just more of a daily topic, more of a reminder that every Friday can't always be a great Friday, can't always be a good Friday, but it can definitely be a happy Friday. So I'm hoping that as you woke up this morning and you turn this channel on, this podcast, that this episode and this week's episode have made you happy. I want to share another story with you today. I've had a lot of feedback and they say, you're forgetting to put stories and we want to hear more of them. Well, I want to share with you a happy story. Something that I feel is a happy moment. A couple of years ago, I was walking down the street and it was in my development. And I saw some kids playing. And the kids were excited because their father was playing kind of like tag with them. And it made me think about when I was a kid. Growing up, we would go outside and play. We would play hide and go seek. We'd play capture the flag. We'd play games during the fall like Ghost in the Graveyard, Manhunt. Stop me, by the way, if I'm showing my age, because I'm sure I am. We'd play wiffle ball, but we'd actually use a tennis ball, and we would use the wiffle ball bats and put electrical tape around them to make the ball just soar higher and higher. We would sit around and talk about things that scared us. We'd tell stories. But what really made me happy is thinking about my brothers and my sister. We would one year get laser tag. And laser tag, if you don't know what that is, was like a vest that you'd put on with this electronical device that would sit and almost portray as if it was a heart. And the guns would actually look like lasers. And they would actually, the target would be the little heart object, and you get 5 shots before you'd get eliminated. And the funny thing about it is, looking back, my brothers and sister and I, as good as the weather was outside, we'd rather be inside playing. We enjoyed each other's company, even though we fought half the time. And just thinking about all the things that we did together made me feel happy. So as I'm telling you this story, I'd love to hear the stories of what you did when you were a kid, the games that you played. I remember my brothers and sister and I would have to have a set schedule to play Atari because we'd fight. I know my oldest brother would always play baseball with me, and he'd beat me up really good in the game. He'd always make me think I was going to win, and then all of a sudden he'd just start cracking home runs. My other brother just always never let me play, but made me watch. My sister would let me play, but I was never that good, so she would just say, never mind. My mom would actually take Pac-Man to the next level and erase the board. That's another way of saying she beat the game. Think about all the things you've done as kids. Think about all the things you've done with your siblings, your friends, your childhood friends. Share that with me, and let's share that with each other. Let's make this Friday a happy day. Let's make this Friday a rememberable day. Remember to respect one another. Remember to feel that joy and laughter and pursuit of this happiness. And let's all have an amazing Friday. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to put your submissions in about what you think my wife's due date's going to be. Share your stories with me and tell me all the games you played when you were young. And if there's any prayer requests out there, let's do that together. I will leave us with one prayer. Let us continue to pray for those that were in the path of Hurricane Michael, and of course others that are still rebuilding from previous hurricanes. May they be there in our thoughts, may they be in our prayers, and may they remember that even though buildings fell, their hearts and their families can move on. And I hope they have a better tomorrow. Have faith. Let it begin.